Today, can I go? Alright. So I'm going to introduce Greg, and he is an RA here on campus. He's doing his PowerPoint on what is it like to be a resident assistant, and he's credible because he is an RA. He came a week and some odd days early before he started school and learned how to do everything, and he's currently tied as the best RA, tied with Sean and Chelsea right now. So he's a wonderful RA.
Don't ask.
And here he is.
Thank you, Lauren. Today I'm going to tell you what it's like to be an RA and the process in which to become an RA. Obviously, my name is Gregg DiFrancia. I'm part of one of the middle agent. Alright. Alright, my introduction. Pretty much as an RA, you're pretty much the lifeline of the campus. Every student knows who you are, your face is posted around campus. They pretty much tell you that round the clock you're on duty. Each week, every night, 2 RAs are on duty. They're selected by the resident coordinator and director to have 2 RAs on duty, to be able to make sure that the campus is running smoothly, there's no issues, nobody's doing anything dumb. Pretty much, I don't even know how to explain what it's like to be an RA. It's not an easy task. I mean, you're always expected to be on the ball, you're always expected to help out every student, and you're always expected to be 100% professional. Once you slip up, it could be a big problem. You can lose your job real quickly. Alright. The class. Before you're even selected in the class, you have to put in a resume, well not a resume, but more or less an application to become an RA. What they do is they look at your GPA, your credibility for what type of student you are, your background, if you've gotten any trouble on campus or you've done anything stupid. Once you're in the class to become an RA, the decision process is just as you went into the class, just like I explained. Nice job there. What you have to do in order to become an RA for the selection. While you're in the class, if you're luckily selected that you have a high enough GPA and that you're credible for the class, you have to at least get a B in the class to be an option to be selected as an RA. Next, you go through the interview process. Once you're done with the entire course of resident assistant CN, ED, what is it, 302 class, is an interview process. What you do is you have an interview with the RC, the resident director, housing, another RA of the current year, and I think there's one other person. All depends. It could be the chancellor, it could be there, but luckily enough, we didn't have him there. The interview process is pretty much you sit down and they ask you all different types of questions about your character, what you're going to do as an RA, what they expect of you, and what you expect of them. After that, if you're luckily selected, the selection process is after they interview the entire class. We were in a class of 45. 12 people were selected, so it's not easy. The selection process is 12 RAs are selected and there's a number of alternates. Pretty much what an alternate's role is, if an RA slips up and does something dumb that they go under review and then they're fired from the RA position, an alternate is asked to step up to fill that RA slot. And what happens if you're lucky enough to be selected? You come back a week early from summer vacation, you go through a week of intensive training. Chelsea and Sean can vouch for me. It's not necessarily the best week of your life. You wake up early, you're drilled with different types of activities, group building. All I know is what I got out of it is we became a huge family. I mean, you spend the full week from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a week together. You know who each other are. And that's a good thing. I really love this process. And we also learned about our position. We really learned from the class. There's so many people that you don't really get much out of it, but this week is really like a crash course on everything you're supposed to know, and everything you have to do throughout the year. What else? Now, since you've been luckily selected and you went through the week, now you have the stresses of being an RA. No matter what, being in charge is the best, but make yourself the one to be in the position to win. Pretty much what I mean is, whether you have a position as being an RA, a position of power as a boss, or anything in life, you have to be ready to take on any challenge, and you have to put everybody else in front of you to be able to win. That's my presentation.
Do they have any manual for that one?
It's all class. They pretty much teach you everything. They teach you a book, but that's about it. That just kind of, they go...
So your presentation was based on all the things that you've gone through as an RA?
Yeah, it was more like there's like no works cited page, there's no like website that says this is what you have to do, this is what it is. It's pretty much all verbal.